Well, hello, Isaac. And thank you very much for joining us today for our very first podcast of the series called The Future of Fashion. We're very happy to have you here with us today. And during this session, we'd like to ask you some questions regarding your background, what you do with fashion and outside fashion, so we can get to know you a bit more and know what type of work you do to support the community. So, the first question we'd like to ask you will be about fashion. I'm a huge fan of what you do. I got the opportunity to see you on the catwalk for the first time in 2022, and it inspired me a lot. So my question is, what type of emotions would you like people to feel when they see you on the catwalk, when they see you on a campaign? What type of emotions would you like people to feel when they see you?
I feel it's a lot of different emotions really, and I guess it depends on who the audience is. For example, if it's someone with a disability who may, like for me, for example, looking up within the community when I was younger, there wasn't anyone I could really look up to and see doing all of these different things, such as being a model on a catwalk, because my idea of fashion was skinny white models, and that was kind of the way I saw fashion, or the really ridiculous outfits that you get to see on the catwalk, and I never really took it very seriously because there wasn't that representation that I could really relate to. So now I've been given this opportunity. I've had people, whenever I've shared my time on the catwalk on platforms such as LinkedIn or Instagram, I've had comments of people say, wow, I didn't know that was possible. And a lot of people feel like, oh, if we can do it, then I can do it as well. So it's really good to get that emotion, but also showing to the average person that people with disabilities are able to do a lot of different things in life, rather than sitting at home or being in a hospital bed. Seeing people with disabilities can do modeling, can go video editing, and all the other things that I do. So it's kind of showcasing the positive side of things, and as we'll be speaking later, the reality of it too. But yeah, just showing what's possible.
Excellent. Thank you very much for this insight. When we talk about you, we would love to know more about your background. We know that you are a person with a strong disability, and we know that it's not an easy life to navigate in this day and age in the country we live in. When it comes to what the government is doing to support you, to empower you, do you think the government is doing enough? And if not, what type of initiatives can the government take to support people with disability in this country?
So it's it's a very layered question, as you can imagine, because obviously with governments, they've only got a certain amount of money that they can use, and then they've got job cuts, and people are stressed out of their work, that they're not able to work efficiently and be able to support people to the best of their ability. And because of that, that's then impacted on people like myself who are truly challenged by the day-to-day where I'm not given the correct support. It's based off a very old model, so it's a tick box exercise. If I don't fit the tick box on that certain day, that means I'm not entitled to the support that I should be getting. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, and a lot of different aspects that make it so difficult for both the participant, person who should be getting the support, and the ones like the social workers who are not able to give the support that they may want to because of the tick box exercise, and they have to just follow what they want. Follow what the system says that they have to do. So it does become very challenging, and it does have a huge impact on me, such as my mental health going down, and it being such a draining experience having to deal with this on a day-to-day. I'm very grateful having to rely on friends and family to be able to get me to where I am today. But if the government would just see the positive side of it and seeing what I can do, it would make such a huge difference to me and many others within the community, rather than, oh, we've got to share what happens on our bad day. Actually, we should be showing what we can do on our good day, and if the help was there, how we can do it even better. Not, oh, I can't go up 2 steps today, Like, that's on a good day, I could go up, well, not me, but for people going up 10 steps, but we have to showcase that we can't get up the one step to then get the support to get to the 10. It's a crazy way of looking at the world, and it's some ways going backwards in some ways. So it's yeah, to put yourself in that, speak about yourself in that way is really mentally draining in itself. Like, you want to get on with life, you don't want to be talking about the negativity all the time, because that's the reality you end up creating.
I totally get your point on this one, and I bet that anyone listening and watching you today will know what you're talking about, and hopefully will see some change in the future. So I had another question regarding your social media presence. You're very active on LinkedIn, you're very active on Instagram. We know that you show loads of your life, and we're very happy to share that with you, and we're very grateful that you're sharing that with us. When it comes to your social media presence, what type of content are you showing to the world, and what type of reaction would you like people to have when they see you post on social media?
So I like to share as realistic as possible perspective of my life, but there's so much my writing can say, and I don't want to come across as being too negative, quote unquote negative, even though it's my reality. I kind of have a bit of a balance, but I think with the things that I've achieved, a lot of people feel like I have all the support in place, but actually when the reality sits in, it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize you didn't have all the support that sorry, let me start again. So the difference between my reality and what I share online, a lot of people feel I have it all in place, when reality is it's not always the case, and it's hard to have that balance, because you want to show what can be done, but then you want to also show that, you know, it comes with its challenges, and it's mentally draining at times, and the planning which goes with it. So it's a lot of things that you have to really think about and do, and feeling how to post things, because people interpret it in so many different ways depending how you write it. So it's definitely a balancing act, but I try and share as much realistic as possible from my own lived experience, because I can't talk on behalf of the whole community.
I strongly believe that the more realistic content we post, the more authentic reaction we can get. So we really appreciate that you take the space on social media to show what your real life is and how people can be inspired by that. So before we close this session, I wanted to have your insight on the disabled community. How can we support them? What type of advice would you like to give them when it comes to navigating their personal and career life?
I think it's just having that open dialogue, having it as a two-way street, giving people an opportunity to have a conversation, because I think that sometimes lacks, and because of that, people assume what people with disabilities want and need, rather than actually asking the question. And when you base it on assumptions, there's a chance that you could get it wrong. And when you get it wrong, you have to do it all over again, and it's like you could have just spoken to us in the first place. So having that open dialogue and having that two-way street really makes a difference. And giving people like now a platform to speak about our lived experience, so people have that understanding of what people go through.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us today. We wish you a great catwalk tonight. We can't wait to see you, and we're definitely going to feel inspired by what you're going to do. Thank you.